Hello all. Right, so we've got another wee exploration for today. It's the Glenfarg Viaduct Tunnels, the Glenfarg Tunnels. So what's that? Training bus as well, some of reading. Yeah, so I've done the dash cam, I've set up the dash cam and I've recorded the journey from the Bullienfield BP garage, just on the outskirts, the west outskirts of Dundee, and I drove along the A90 and then I followed the route of the A90 onto the M90 and then onto the A912 and then off of that onto the B966. I've recorded that on the dash cam so you'll see the drive. I'll point it out on the map as well to give you an idea how to get to the tunnel should you want to explore them yourself. Now, I haven't done them. Keen's done them, you done them years ago, did you? So I just can't remember exactly how to get to them, but I suspect that it's following that old railway line up there. There isn't the line, there's a path there now, but that's where the line would have been. And there's the hotel, what was it called again? The Bin Inn Hotel, was just down at the road there. There's a car park there, but you've got to probably pay for it and whatnot. You have to know that it's a hotel that own the car park, so you'd have to let them know that you're parking there to do the tunnels. But I've avoided that. I've found this responsibly parked in this sort of wee lay-by, which is probably about a quarter of a mile away from the viaduct. So the viaduct's just down there. So we're going to walk along the old railway line which goes to the viaduct, then we walk over the viaduct and into the tunnel, because it goes straight into tunnel from the viaduct. And then there's another tunnel apart there as well, 2 tunnels there, so I'll get that as well. So we'll come out to the other end and we'll walk back again, obviously back to the car. So it's like 2:30, it's late November, 23rd of November actually, 2021. So we're having to watch for the daylight. Ironic really, because we know the tunnel's going to be dark anyway, but we want to see the viaduct entrance and that certainly during the daylight. So as I say, I'll get the map and that, I'll show you the map. I'll show you the dash cam as best I can to show you how to get here if you want to have a look. Right, so I'm going to get ready to set off for the exploration to the Glenfarg tunnels. Now, it's good advice to wear a pair of wellies, because apparently it could get rather wet and muddy. So I've got them with me, I've got them on. Now another good piece of advice would be to get a torch, a head torch or something, a really powerful torch. Because obviously it's going to be dark in there, so I've got that packed as well, I hope. I do, yep, that's a head torch, so I've got that. I've also got a hand torch as well. I hope I've packed it, I have packed it good. I've made sure the batteries are charged on it before I set off. And warm clothing as well. So that's just a bit of advice. And that's where we're going to walk to, along that way. Just come out of the viaduct. Like I say, the area where I've actually parked is just, there's like a bridge here that goes over the road. It goes over a burn. There's a wee burn. No, I think that's the River Farg or something. It runs along there. I'll go and show you it. It's a busy road this, so I've got to watch my time as well because it's for the daylight. But there is a burn that goes along there, and that's what this bridge is about. Okay. Thought I'd maybe just give you an idea where I'm parked as well, should you want to. This is only about maybe a mile from the hotel, so I've driven up about a mile, maybe just under a mile to here. If you don't want to park at the hotel, that is. I've parked responsibly here. There is a bit there you got to keep the access open. Right, so let's get on with it. Right, let's go. So this will be where the old railway line was on, and we're heading in the direction of the viaduct. So I did see that on the other end of the viaduct there was the entrance to a tunnel. So I'm just going to make my way along here. So it's just... Now what I will do when I get to the tunnel is I'm going to put the head torch on, and I'll use my camcorder with the infrared setting, because it's going to be dark, so I'll just be using my torch lights. So I'll set the infrared on the camcorder and I'll put that on the video. I might at some points change it from infrared to colour, so you get a wee bit of the colour shown, being illuminated by the torches. So it's not all in black and white basically. So it's quite a nice crisp afternoon, nice sunny day. Bit muddy on their foot, but we'll just plod along. So we've only walked about 5 minutes and the tunnel is in view up ahead. Now it's where the road that we'd driven along was where was that road there, and we came to this sort of S-bend chicane like on the road, and that's where we went under the viaduct. And we were just parked, just not even 5 minutes, just up there on the right, and straight ahead looks like the tunnel's coming into view. So I might, to get the picture of the viaduct, I don't know how I'm going to do that unless I go back down to the road at some point. Although you would have, hopefully I've got that on the dash cam when I was driving under it. The dash cam recorder would have picked up the images of the viaduct. Because obviously when you're on the viaduct it's not going to be quite so easy to get pictures of it. But it's good, we could see the tunnel up ahead. I just wasn't sure just how far it was. So, getting there.
It would be, because we have neighbours down there.
Ah, so this is where you came. Yeah, well, we'll just see, looking up ahead at that tunnel, it looks pretty creepy, dark. We're letting myself in. Yeah. So, now there was an image of a burnt out car in the tunnel, so obviously it's quite accessible for traffic at one point. Well, that car could manage to get in. It's obviously intended for railways, so it's going to be flat and level, wide enough for a car, but you can see why they've perhaps put this barrier up to stop joyriders taking cars in there and torching them, because there was pictures of that on Google of it. No doubt we'll be passing that as we go through. Right, so let's get over this barrier. There's a bit there, we'll just go over here. It's a bit that everybody seems to be, a lot of people seem to be go over this bit. Follow myself. Now that's barbed wire, so you don't want to just watch that wire. It's sharp stuff that. Oh, I get a bit of a view of the viaduct as well, which is handy. What I'll do is I'll make my way over there. So I'm just getting my way to a point here where I could picture the viaduct for you. I'm walking on a bit of a hill, at an angle. So, it's not great, it's just the trees are there, but I'll turn it around and show you what I could show you. See, now I'm a bit limited for time, so that would probably mean having to go down a wee bit further. Don't really want to slip here. So that's the B966 road, and That's the viaduct that we went under. And the tunnels is in that direction. So we're going to be able to walk over there and into the tunnel once I get myself back up this slope hill. Right, so we're walking over the viaduct now and just coming into an entrance to one of the tunnels. I believe there's two. No, it looks pretty dark. Well, it would obviously be dark, but it looks kinda, it doesn't look that welcoming. Looking at the tunnel, just how dark it looks. And God, that does look rather right. Gee whiz, it just looks like it's an endless. Actually, I just had a wee look at the viaduct from the other side just before we enter the tunnel. You get a better view here. You can even see the burn going under it as well. Right, now we're about to go in, so I'm going to now switch the camera to the camcorder infrared, and if now and again I'll change it to colour, because obviously it's going to be pointless trying to film anything like in colour in there, it's just pitch dark. Okay, so we're going to be to make our way in through there. Right, so I've got my, on the camcorder now, I've got my torches on, and we're just about to enter, well, we've just entered the tunnel. So I'll keep the colour on for now because there's still a bit of daylight we could see, and when we get into the real dark areas it'd just be as well turning it on to infrared, because there's like a load of old metal. Probably, or is that old car? That could be the old car that was there, maybe. The burnt old car. God, there's water dripping in there. Yeah, I think that was that old wrecked car. It's just rusted away. Obviously at the time it was, the picture was taken when it showed it as a whole car, it wasn't quite as corroded now. I mean, it's just, the metal's just rusted away and disintegrated, and it's, so we're just entering now. It really does get shrouded in darkness. The whole atmosphere changes when we come in here. It just becomes kind of echoey and quieter and a bit eerie as well. I'll get my other torch on. Now, even though I've got my other torch on, the light just seems really tiny. It doesn't really seem to light up an awful lot. It just goes to show how big the tunnel is. I think it's, how long is this tunnel? About 500 metres or something, is it? Or, and then there's another one. It just shows how puny our torches are, doesn't it? It's still dark. This reminds me of the bit on the entrance to, you know, the intro to the X-Files, the original series X-Files, when they're showing it, the bit where they see the torchlights shining about. Paranormal activity. The X-Files is the original X-Files, 1993 to 2002, and then they got the new series 2016, I think, or was it 2017 or 2018, much later anyway. Right, I'm going to put this camera onto infrared because it's now becoming really dark. Looking at the back, just looks kind of pretty eerie, so let's make a move anyway. So I've got this on infrared and it's still not really showing an awful lot up. But I'm looking down on the ground and there's kind of like a glitter. Whether that's frost, I don't know. Now I can see light at the end of the tunnel, as the saying goes, and it's kind of genuinely, literally do. So I think we're halfway. It says something about, from what I've read, you get halfway through one of the tunnels where you don't see the, maybe not, where you don't see the daylight, but I look behind, I can still see the daylight, but I can definitely see light up ahead, very faintly, but there is light. Not our torches, by the way. I'll turn the other end off because it's not really going to make an awful lot of difference. Unfortunately, it's not really going to give you much either. There isn't very much to show in this. Well, then maybe just actually, what I've done is I went back to my phone camera. That seems to be picking up light better than the camera. So I'm going to keep the... I didn't think it would be as good as this, but it's better. I'm just going to use this from now on then, because not only are you getting colour, you're getting a better image. Whereas the camcorder, even when it was in colour and when it was in infrared, it just wasn't really coming out as clear as this. So, and I've just got to remember how to sync them up. So I have to join the videos, connect it in order. But here we are. I'll look back, we can still see the daylight at the other side. And you're getting to see it now on the approaching side. So it's maybe the other tunnel, because there was a bit where I did read where we get to the centre of one of them and we don't see the daylight at either end because it's the curvature. Right, let's proceed. So it is kind of cold, damp, water dripping from the roof. Do you hear that? Yeah, it's just water or something. Probably just echoing because if the something fell at the other end, it would echo. Like even if it was just like a twig or I don't know, a stone or a rat or any little noise will just be echoed. And so I don't think that other torch, to be honest. This head torch is pretty good. I always take the extra torches for certain situations and all, but in this situation I've got enough light between my torch and my mate's torch as well, so we're getting enough light. So I'm going to so I'll have a look behind him. Oh, look at that, I just walked from there. And we're just about to exit this end, and I can see there's a bridge up ahead there. You might not see that yet on this camera because the way the light is, it just seems like you just see the light. It's too much saturated light. You won't see the bridge yet until the lens adjusts. I mean, I don't know how to do all that. I'm not an expert at photography or anything, but you might have seen it now. There it is. It's coming into view now. No, I don't hate mine so much, I could just walk right through that because I got my wellies on. I've got these wellies, I might as well use them. And I'll put them to test and walk through all this. Because I know at the bottoms of my trousers won't get mucky either. And then you'll just see me sinking down here and up to blooming waist or something like that. Right, I'll show you what we've come out. I could turn this off. So that's the first bit done. One down, one to go. So just came through there. You like that, Keir? We got through. We've got the other one to do. Yeah, I mean the camcorder was that's good. This is better, so I'm just going to use this from now on. The head torches, this was good enough. I used an additional torch, but it was more of a pinpoint light. I didn't really need it. As for light, if I needed to focus in or something, it's always there. Should I need it, or if this one backs in or anything, I've got a backup torch. But I presume they just head along to the next tunnel then. At least I hope that's the right way and it's not the other way. Assuming it's that way. Well, at least we've got one done of it, because I don't know if it was time to do if it is the wrong way. I just assumed that would be the tunnel through the viaduct and it's going that way. I never even. That is correct, Kane, is it? I think there's the second tunnel is that way, isn't it? It's no the other way, I hope, because you know, kind of just winging it. Like we've never really. It's been a long time since Kane's been here, and it's the first time I've been here to my knowledge. And I'm walking right in the centre of all this mud, and I don't have to worry about getting mucky. I've got these nice wellies. I need to watch. Anyway, I'll get a picture of that photo still for that. Let's just get in there. Selfie photo. This is other bridge. No, I'm just kind of worried that we aren't 100% sure that if we're going the right way for the I'm just a wee bit concerned actually. I don't know. Keen reckons it could be this way, but I just hope that I've no idea. I just assumed it for some reason that this would be the right way to get to the second tunnel. I haven't done any real research on it at all. Well, very little. A nice view of that bridge again. You see, I was thinking on that, I don't really need to negotiate this water mud through the centre. Thinking, Kane, see if it is the wrong way. Oh, I'm just hoping that there'll be enough time maybe to go back through there and do the second one, if it is going the wrong way, like. It just goes on the daylight and the time as well. Yeah, just figuring out that if that was the first tunnel, I did say something about going down. I mean, if the ground or the land's flat, there wouldn't be a need for the tunnel. So there's got to be hills and that for the tunnel to go through. So we're going up this slight gradient. For a train, that would be a lot, because what for us is a slight, well, what would seem a slight gradient for us, for a train is a massive gradient. So we're obviously looking for a hilly area, and it looks kind of hilly-ish where we are, because the tunnel, as I say, has got to cut through some. There's no railway bridge or something up there. Ah, yeah. So we're just sort of deciding. I'll keep you posted. Yeah, well, we're kind of like just making my way along here. It's just a stone throw away from the other. Well, that exit, and there was a wee sort of corrugated building. Up there. Whether that's something to do with the railway hut or something, I don't know. But The thing keeps jumping about. Well, we're going to walk along here for a bit. I don't know if it's right or not, but we'll just head along here for a wee bit anyway. If I start seeing a tunnel, I'll put the camera back on and keep you posted. So we've just continued. Sorry, we're still continuing along here. Probably about 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes from the tunnel, and this is sorry, choked there. This is the second tunnel. Hooray! We found the second tunnel. We're going in the right direction. It's excuse me. It's just when we parked, it didn't feel like the tunnel was going in. It felt like we were going in the right direction, because when I looked the other way, it looked. I don't know. It didn't seem like the tunnel would be that way. It's just probably because I saw the viaduct. I thought, well, that's where the tunnels are. And the distance we walked from where we parked to the first tunnel was about a 5-minute walk. So, and looking the opposite way, it didn't look like. But then I was just kind of guessing, maybe just a bit of luck that I took the right. And I've done very little, maybe a brief research, and just reading roughly how to get to it, but all that kind of took the right gamble and went through the right way and we got here. So I'll turn this around and show you. Now this one's the straight one. From what I read, the first one was the one with the curve in it, and the second one is straight and you could see the end all the time. But the thing was, in that first one I did see the end, both ends, even though it was curved, which it was. I still saw both ends. But this one looks actually like it's just the same, dark and eerie. Right, when you get to the mouth of these tunnels, it's still just as exciting, just as eerie. I certainly can't see the end from here, so to me it would seem like both of them are curved. But we're about to, well, I certainly can't see the end. If it was straight, I'd be able to see the end there. Can't see any end there. And the other one, I was able to see the ends, but it was definitely curved. Anyway, let's go and explore it. Oh, got in the wrong way. We're just got it set on the wrong way. We're just thinking there that it does look a bit more creepy. Maybe because it's a bit later as well, when the light levels are starting to go down a bit. Maybe what it is. I had that on the wrong set. I'll get it turned on for you. So back on with the head torches. And just make their way in it. Maybe got my torch up too high actually. I'll just lower that down a bit. Now, there is a lot of dripping water here, so prepare to get a little bit of a shower. So this has definitely got a curve in it, and the other one did as well. The other tunnel had a curve, this one's got a curve. I sure ain't can't see the other end from where I am. And as you can tell, we just come in. You see the red brick up there? That's red brick, and it goes to kind of, I don't know what that is. It's very crumbly anyway, whatever it is. It could just be the moss right enough, but be cemented over, smooth it down. And you've got the brick effect up at the top. Arch effect for the. And some sleepers, is that railway sleepers or is that? No, that's logs. Telegraph poles. Aye. Be the logs for the poles, utility poles, maybe for the line signals, you know, for the, it'll be for the pillar for the railway signals, probably. The old. No, this just seems a bit. I don't know. Seems longer. This has got more of a curve than the other one, right enough. Because already that the entrance is going out of sight. The entrance we came through. So I think this is maybe what they mean with the curve, because although the other one had a curve in it, it was a slight curve. This has maybe got a really big curve in it, where when you get to the centre of the tunnel, you won't see either end, so it'll just be shrouded in total darkness. I think that's what they meant, because that already, I mean, look at that. I've only been in here about 2 minutes and that is now out of sight. So this is obviously the one with the big curve in. Some sort of writing on the wall from it's somebody's thoughts. No, that does look eerie because no, I'll look behind and I can see nothing. This does feel eerie again, doesn't it? Yeah, this is definitely the one with the. So that'll be the escape hatches, maybe. So if there's workers in here and a train comes on during, well, obviously when it was in use. Oh, I can see a light. I can see a light, yeah. Which is always a good sign. Yeah, that'll be for where they would just go into the change pass, like a safety kind of escape route. This will be two-way. This will be wide enough for 2 trains, I would have thought. So certainly a big bold writing there anyway. I feel better when I see light. How are you getting on? Enjoying it? Yeah. Just look where we've came from though, eh? Look at that sheer darkness. And you can hear our footsteps echoing around the roof, you know. See if we can turn it for a minute. So we're just not that clear really. That's some sort of wire for maybe like a thread for, as if there was a team to hold on to adventure rope or something, a lifeline or whatever. Not that you really need it here, right? But then again, it just could be anything really. God, I heard something there, look. You know what it was? It was your clothes. It echoed. Hear that? I mean, it echoes. The acoustics. I felt really like there was something over my right shoulder there. It's just how all the light in that, the sound rather. Yeah, it's like that, eh? Yeah, you wouldn't be the only one. That's always a welcome sight. See daylight at the end of a dark tunnel. No, I was thinking like if you were doing caves, stuff like that, there'd be like a line that people would hold on to, so that everybody is on the same lifeline kind of thing. As I said, I don't think you really do. Well, you wouldn't really need it here. You can't. There's no any deviations in the tunnel. It's just one straight tunnel, so you can't get lost. In other words, whereas if you're in caves with multiple caverns and that, then you could easily get lost. Oh, a minute. That is only halfway, of course. Got to go back through this way as well, remember. And that's these signal, or some sort of machinery related to the railways. Maybe for changing the tracks or something, I don't know. So, it's the Glenfarg tunnels. Right, so we'll leave that torch on. That's off now. Right, so we've done the tunnels, we've done both of them, we've done it in the right order. Obviously this is only halfway, of course, because we go back through them again. I don't really think it'd bother filling them. I don't know, I mean, would there be any point in filling it going back through? I mean, I've already done one journey, I mean, it's be the same, yeah. It saves memory, it saves you time. I mean, at least you've seen us going through them both. There's not really much point in this film and going back, because, you know, I did turn the camera around every now and then to show you what it was like behind us. Not an awful lot to see, to be honest. It's more the experience of actually doing it. But it gives you a bit of an idea anyway. That's all this video was about, just to give you a clue as to what it's like. That's all I'm putting up for. It's just to show you roughly. You know, a picture will tell 1,000 words. A video will tell you 1,000,000 words. You know, you're getting a bit more. If you've never been to the Glenfarg tunnels, then there's stuff out there online anyway. I've just thought I'd add mine to it. It's quite good anyway, and quite enjoyed it. I'll try my best to make it clear on my video how to get to it from a well-known and a fairly easy starting point, like on the Field BP garage, or even just no, it's just the hotel. It's a bit tricky to find specifically where it is, because there isn't a road map, and I don't have an ordnance survey map, unfortunately. We'll just kind of wing it. But Keen had an idea where it was anyway, a better idea than me anyway. So what we'll do is I'll send off the video when I get back to the car to prove that we got back alive. Didn't get gobbled up by any big monsters or getting swallowed by the mouth of that tunnel. It just looks really, and when it's getting darker now as well, that's 4:15, and when it gets darker, that's when you start. It gets easier, doesn't it? I mean, so I'll let you know when we got back. Okay. Right. So if there's anything that I see on the way back that's worth filming, then I'll just film it. When I want to film it. So that's obviously looking towards the north. I don't know an awful lot about the area, as I say. I just thought I'd add a wee bit to it. Right, we're going to head back, and you'll see me when I get back in my car, hopefully, alive. Right, yeah, I was just going to say, we've just started going back through the tunnels. I was just going to point out a little bit about the acoustics, the noise, and the way the sound's affected. There's this little opening here, channel, we've just come in that curve, just come in, and there's a wee opening there. I can't really try and show it as best I can, just there. And it's like a musical instrument. The sound has been, I don't know, like a baffle box maybe. But it's the way it's reflecting off it. Where I'm standing is really weird. The sound, you might even hear it on, I don't know if you can appreciate it on the camera, but it's like, it's affecting the sound in an odd way because of this opening here on the side of the wall and the way it's just curved where I'm standing. It's quite creepy, quite eerie, but it's acting like a musical instrument or like a baffle box or something. It's doing something with the sound. It's reflecting off the walls. That's an idea. I never thought of that. I could show my face. But yeah, it's really impressive. There's a structure somewhere, I remember. I think I went abroad for it, but you stood somewhere and it was, I can't remember, was it maybe at the Sensations? But it was impressive. It's all to do with how it shapes the way the sound waves are reflected. But if you're ever coming to these tunnels, if you stand at this, well, where I am, it's definitely near impossible to tell you exactly when it's done, but you'll probably come to a point where you'll hear the sound just behaving really bizarrely. I just had to try and explain that to you. It's difficult. You won't appreciate that on the microphone. I don't think it'd pick it up like that, because obviously there's only one microphone on the phone and that's positioning different. Whereas I've got 2 ears, I could hear the sound reflecting off of that wall and off coming in my other ear, and it's making it sound like there's sounds coming from all over. It's quite impressive. It's behaving like a musical instrument. No, I better get lost what I'm doing here because it's getting dark. Right, so we're going to just continue back to the car. Okay. We're just under the turn leg back to the car. And I'm just going to film it again. I'm just going to film it. Why not? Yeah, it only takes a few minutes to get along here. So I'll add another 3 minutes, 4 minutes on the video, and then you get the view of what's on this side, looking this way for a lot longer. Dropping stuff. Yeah, that's another thing as well with the sound, is that the water that's dripping off the roof, landing on these concrete. That was that rope, by the way, that was on a bit. It's like a guide rope. It's bright coloured, it's thin enough. It could be anything. It could be anything. That's just what came to mind. That was all when I first saw it. Because I'm in this sort of frame of mind where, you know, I'm doing this, and that kind of comes to me watching Bear Grylls and these adventure shows and stuff. Nothing like it. This is just kid stuff, this. But I'll tell you though, when I look back there, see that light going at the side, this is obviously the centre. See, look, just see it no more. Yeah, I've changed my mind. I'm going to film it going back because, as I say, it's not that much longer, and you'll get to see all the graffiti in the order in which it's read, because I'm walking along in the direction of how you would read it, should you want to read what they've written. I'm not really spending time doing that because I've got to get other things done later tonight, so I'm in a wee bit of a rush. So I don't have time to stop and look at all the writing. But oh, see, there's that rope again. See that? That is actually like that's that pink coloured rope that's obviously sooty. Oh good, I can see the end. Whew. So that's where it would be most creepy, because you're right in the centre. And these little holes, entrance, or escape routes, doorways, well, not doorways, but I don't think they were doorways anyway, but escape routes, there's more of that stuff. Just don't trip over it if you're ever here. But yeah, these are what it is, sound baffles or something, or it'll resonate, it'll do something with the sound and it'll play tricks on your ears, but you have to, a microphone might not appreciate it because it's just, oh yeah, a spot. Yeah, there is definitely something with this. Maybe it's practice orienteering, or so maybe this is where they train, or some certain groups might use it. Do a training sort of thing where it could just be a bit of fun, I don't know. It could be anything. It could just be dumped there for whatever. I'll try to keep this camera all steady for you, so I'll try and so it's took us what, 3.5 minutes. There's more of that rope. There's these sleepers again. Telegraph poles, I should say, or let's go poles or whatever they, something to do with the railway signals. So I think these are sleepers because of the shape of them. These are rectangular. These are the ones at the back there, probably old railway line sleepers. Hardly surprising really, considering it's an old railway tunnel. And I like the end of the tunnel. So that's the halfway back. It's got the other tunnel to go through now, which is the one that comes out at the viaduct that goes over the B966, I think, or the B996. Either way, if I've got the numbers mixed up, you'll see it. You'll see it in the video anyway, because I'll take a picture of it and show you in the map how to get there. So we'll just come over here. So we're halfway back home. Turn this off again, I keep leaving that on. I had this other torch, but the batteries, it's a powerful little torch. They're rechargeable batteries, but unfortunately they don't last. This was hardly used, it's flat already. So I'll just, see that? Oh, it might not have probably dazzled the camera, but it's just rubbish. The batteries are not good, unfortunately. But the head torch I've got on, that's rechargeable in the USB plug. That's really good. You get a good charge length out of it. So we'll just continue on. I'll put the camera on when I get to the final tunnel on the return leg. I just done a very quick look online just to find out when they're shut. It was in service up until the 1970s. It served as part of a railway line from the Forth Rail Bridge to Perth. It was in service up until the 70s. So I thought I'd just let you know that. I haven't done any history on it at all. I was actually keen at us doing, this is well thought of it, because that was a good idea to put that on the video, because I haven't, a lot of people would probably want to know that. It's good thinking. So, it's a bit I didn't do much research onto it, but it's just about time and that. Oh, there's a couple others. Right, I'll keep you posted. Yeah, I was also just wanting to check the actual road that the railway viaduct goes over. It's the B996. It comes off at A912. So I just made sure I got the right number there. B996. That's where I'm parked on the lay-by. Parked there quite easily. There's enough room for a few cars, 2 or 3 maybe, and I can just walk from there over the viaduct, then to the first tunnel, continue on down this path. It's a good 10 minutes from between tunnels, depending on how fast you walk of course, because everyone's stopped, done Google searches, and just head back along to the second one. So, Yeah. Alternatively, if you don't want to park on the B996 like what I did, you can park at the Ben Inn Hotel. It's B-E-I-N-N, Ben Inn, which is just down the road there. It's right on the corner of the, it's at the junction with the A912. So as you go along the A912, you'll turn on to the B996. And right in the corner is where that hotel is. And you can park there, but you can't just park there without checking with the hotel first, because it's a private car park, it's the hotel car park. So you have to go in and ask them if it's alright to park there if you want to do this walk. That's if you're taking a car, by the way. So you might not be doing that, but if you're going by car, that is. So I thought I'd better mention that as well. So we're just walking still along this path. So don't be put off when you go over the viaduct and enter into the tunnel, and then you go through it and come up the other side. Don't be put off and think that you won't come to the second one. It's a wee bit of a walk. Now, that's where we walked from. It's just a straight walk between the tunnels. You've got this wee bit here. Obviously we don't go up there. We're going down this way. On the left you've got the road. That'll be the A912 on the left. It's busy traffic, and then you'll see this load of logs. Now whether they stay there for how long I don't know, but you could use that as an indicator that you're between the tunnels. Also that the land that we're walking on here this path kind of goes up a wee bit, and then it goes back down this other side. Now, these logs might not be here for long, so they don't think I could really use that as a reference, but that hill there, if you're going during the day, which would be sensible, you get this bit of a view. As I say, the road is on your left when you're heading back towards the viaduct. When you see you're heading towards the viaduct, this road on your left, this path runs parallel with it. Now you'll be advised to wear boots because it is very muddy. It can get very muddy. So you continue up this bit of an incline here. You'll hear the road and you'll see this bridge, which is I don't really know what's up there. I haven't been up there, I don't know a lot about it, but I could see the entrance to the second tunnel, or the second tunnel for us anyway, or maybe you want to call it the viaduct tunnel. I don't know what ways, maybe the south, north and south might be a better way to describe it. I just don't really have my bearings, so I don't really know. I don't have a compass, so I don't know the direction we're going in. So I haven't done a lot of research. I assume that's the south one. But heading in the direction of the viaduct anyway. This is between the two tunnels. Like I say, we came up that one earlier, and then we were faced with that. And I was then starting to think, well, if we just came through the end of one of the tunnels, and we're not, we aren't between the tunnels, but we are between the tunnels, and you'll get this very, very muddy bit that I don't have to worry, I won't got my boots on. There's this little bit there on the right, this crater like. But that's your clue anyway, that won't move, that won't be going anywhere in a hurry. So this bridge here is between, just after the, well, it's exit entrance anyway, because that's when you go through this tunnel, you'll come to the viaduct. So if you're coming the way we came earlier, you'll come out, you'll see this bridge, okay, then you'll just follow this along for about 10 minutes, depending on how fast you walk, of course. I don't know the distance, I'm really, but it took us about a 10-minute walk to get to the second tunnel, okay. So you'll come into this little sort of cutaway here, because there's rocks on the left. That's what this bridge purpose is about. Obviously, a bridge this gap here, so you'll see that, and cliff like, well, this rock basically they've had to cut through to make the railway line. Now it's really getting dark now. The more I look at that, the more it's really eerie. Now they said that this was, well, from what I've read, this is supposed to be the straight one, but it isn't. It's the straighter of the two. There's less of a curve in this one, but there's still a curve in it. And like I say, this is really muddy. So be prepared. I'm not going to go through here now, so I'll get my torch on. With me. Right, so I've got my head torch on. So like I say, just to make it, try and make it a wee bit easier so you get an idea. There's no point in using graffiti as a reference because that could change any time. So this is going in the direction of the viaduct. You come through this tunnel. If you're coming from the viaduct, which is the viaduct that goes over the B996, you're coming from the opposite end of this tunnel. You'll walk through here, you'll come out, you'll see this big cliff area, or cutaway. It's obviously land, they've had to cut through this to get the line through. Then you'll have this bridge that goes over there, over here. You'll continue along here for about 10-minute walk, depending on how fast you walk. We weren't wasting much time, but it took us about 10 minutes. Okay, so you would just continue on down there, straight down there, and you'll come to the other tunnel, or the second tunnel, depending on what way you're starting your journey. But if you're coming from the viaduct, it'll be the second tunnel. Now we're heading in the direction of the viaduct, and we still get these kind of weird sound effects. It's not quite so strange as that other tunnel. That other tunnel, the sound effects was really odd. It was more of that rope, by the way, string. It's maybe just because of the curvature of it and positioning, but this one isn't quite so. Although saying that, it's this kind of, so it could be, I was cladded as well. I mean, this has got more cement on the roof as it curves round compared to the other one. The other one's got cement and then it goes to brick. Now whether it's just that the cement's come off and the brick's exposed, I don't know. I don't know much about this, if it's designed that way or if it's just felt bits. Although I don't think it'll fall to bits because it isn't deemed dangerous. It's a public pathway, so it must be relatively safe. Oh, did you hear that? So I'll get a bit of a sound effect. You know, I was just, all we done was just kicked one of these wee stones with my feet and it echoes. Yeah, look at this. That's quite nice for a photo shot. It's just that colour. I'm going to stop this and get a picture of this. So you can see just how effective these high vises are, because Keane's got his on. You can just see this bright reflective strip. So it really is effective for this kind of. So railway workers and stuff, it'd be absolutely essential that they wear reflective clothing. That glittery stuff that I saw earlier on, by the way, it just looks like ground frost. It's ground frost, and there's more of this rope, or string, or guide string or something. Now I think that looks kind of bluer, so it's colour coded. The other one's a brighter pink colour. That is a bluer. So there's. I don't know, I haven't really joined up on what goes on here, but look at that. That's all the water. It's you see, it could take a while for the water to seep through. I know that there's well, I've visited it's a Hollow Mountain. There's a Hollow Mountain power station, and you go through this huge tunnel. You don't walk, you get taken through on a tour. What was the name? It's just before you get to Oban anyway. Glen something. Damn it, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'll probably tell you later on when I remember. But it's a power station that's within a hollow mountain, and they tunnelled all the way through about 1 kilometre into the centre of the mountain, and that's where the turbines are. It's a hydroelectric. It's a big reservoir at the top, and of the pipes coming down that feed the turbines to turn the generators. And I remember being told when we went through the tunnel on the tour bus, it's a small minibus, you get a guided tour, and the water that drips through, the time it seeps through the mountain and drips out into the tunnel, takes about 2 years. So I don't know how long it takes the water to seep through in this tunnel, but I don't think it would be yesterday's rain. It might take weeks, maybe months, I don't know. But I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, so I feel a lot better now. This kind of, see, that water could be rainwater from months ago. And there's the differences in the bricks. It's cladded. Well, it's actually stone because it's at archway. And there's this kind of material here. It looks as though it's just flaking off. That's concrete. Well, I've just contributed to some damage, but I won't do any more of that. But it is maybe that some of the claddings came off the walls just through age. As I say, it's been shut since the 70s. So it's not really been looked after. As if it was still in service, it'll be kind of like, it's not dangerous, I mean, I'm still allowed to get in it, so it's not cordoned off or anything. It's not like some of the adventures that we do when we go into disused buildings, which are dangerous, and I don't recommend you do it. But this one's okay. I recommend that you do this one because it's a nice walk, it's safe. But just go prepared, mind. Proper footwear, torch, and you'll find that the sound acoustics, the sound effects, the way the tunnel affects the sound, the way it warps the sound or reflects the sound, is quite interesting. It plays tricks with your ears, but I mean, you've got to have, your ears can appreciate it, but a microphone on a camera, I don't think would be able to appreciate it. It's electronic for a start. There's only one microphone, whereas you've got your 2 ears. You could get the 2 resonant sounds at different speeds or whatever, I don't know. But a microphone will not appreciate it. You want to come and try it yourself. That looks really eerie. And if you're brave enough, you could do it alone, but it would really just be your own imagination. But then again, you don't know, you don't want to be encountering anybody that doesn't have friendly intentions. So you've got to really bear that in mind as well. But I don't think we get a phone signal here. In fact, I'm just going to make a try that. Yeah, I just checked my phone there, I don't seem to get a very good signal, so if you go with at least 2 people, there'll be somebody there to assist you if there's any problems. If you go alone, then your phone won't really be much good to you. Now that looks pretty amazing, the colours just on the outside. That's this old wreck, right car that we saw when we came in. That looks like it had drum brakes on the back. I don't know the model, but when I saw it in the picture I couldn't make it out. There's an old mattress. So I don't know the model of the car. It's a four-door car. So the handle there. Trying to identify that would be the challenge. I think it would have been a hatchback because of the way that the hinges are right at the top of the. So I reckon it's been here probably since the 90s, and at that time breaking into cars was fairly common, it was easier. It's not like the cars you get nowadays, it's got a lot more mobilisers and stuff to make it more difficult to steal them. I think nowadays if you're going to steal a car it would be easier stealing the keys, but it'd be a hatchback from the 90s I reckon, or maybe even from the 80s. So it is a lovely walk, and it isn't cordoned off, so you are allowed to walk here. I recommend it. I'm trying my best to show you how to get to it. So there we go. That's now the viaduct that we came across. It goes over the B996. As you see, and just parked. I walked along this way for about 5 minutes, and then parked on the roadside of the B996. A bit of a lay-by. You probably would have saw that when I set off, when we both set off from the car. So this viaduct crosses the river, which I'm going to find out the name for you in a minute, and you can maybe make out the road, the B996 road. And it also, as I say, it crosses that river, which I'm going to find the name out for you in a minute. So I might as well switch my torch off, I won't need that now. You like that, Kieran? It was good, eh?
Enjoyed that.
Yeah. Right, so I've done alright. I come out, we got through both of them. Went through, done both, came back through both, and we got out alive. We didn't get eaten up. So that river down there, by the way, it was called the River Farg. And the mountain power station, the hollow mountain power station, was Cruachan power station. And you've got Loch Cruachan above it. That's what feeds the penstocks pipes that go down through the mountain and feeds into the turbines, which turns the generator. That's the hall room. That goes. You go through the tunnel to get to that. The visitor centre is on the road side. It's on the A85. It's about maybe 20 miles short of Oban. So you'll pass that on the left if you're going towards Oban. On the A85 you'll come to the Cruachan Visitor Centre, Cruachan Power Station Visitor Centre. And then from there you could book a tour, and they'll take you on like a minibus, because obviously the workmen have got to get down there, eh? It's an actual power station in the centre of it's right into the mountain, Cruachan. And you go through like a big long tunnel, takes you into it. That was the name anyway, I just couldn't remember the name of it, but I checked up. And I say this viaduct goes over the River Farg and over the B996. So, not bad, eh? Or not, right?
Adventure.
Yeah, just good adventure, that. Nice colours. The sky to come up to as well. Sure, the what's up there, isn't it? Yeah, lovely. Recommend it. Definitely recommend it. But we were worried, I was worried at first. I thought when we went through that one, it's just because I thought that this might have been, where we are right now, could have been between the tunnels, and that would have been like, you know, just one of them, eh? And we went through it and that was it. We went the wrong way. The other tunnel was in that direction, but it just didn't seem right because we walked about 5 minutes from being parked. I mean, I looked up the other way, it didn't really feel, I don't know, it seemed, because it was maybe near the hotel, I just assumed it would be this direction. Maybe that couple what I remember reading, just a few clues, just that sort of eyed feeling that you could guess maybe. But we got it right anyway, so I hope that if you're wanting to try this out, that my video helps you how to get to it. I'll just try my best to show you how to get to it. So just make my way back to the car. Just make my way back. Like I say, you'll come to this bit here. This is the thing. You'll come to this barrier. That's just to stop vehicles going through. As you saw, you would have seen that burnt out car. So obviously they're not wanting cars being dumped there. I don't want people bringing their bikes in and whatnot, racing them. So there's just that wee, it's dead easy. You just climb over that wee bit. Nothing to it. And then you just make your way through there. Now, we walk along 5 minutes up here, and you probably would have saw these old disused railway carriages. That's your kind of clue where the lay-by is when parked. And you, if it's free to park there, then you can park there. save you at the park at the hotel. What's our next adventure then, Kieran? What do you think we should do next? What other tunnels is there we could explore or things like that? We're getting into this now. Really enjoying it. I mean, I've just bought a pair of boots for £13. So I'm getting my money's worth out of them. I've just got this head torch, and I get used to that now. Just getting to taste of all this explorations and it. Hope yous are liking it as well. So we'll just come up with whatever ideas we come up with. See what we decide there are. There are other tunnels. There was something I saw online. Where was it now? Oh yeah, we look for you on Google. Give you a shot in a minute. There's quite a lot on Google. There's one at Falkirk. There's a Falkirk tunnel as well. That might be worth having a wee look at some point in the future. There's this big long tunnel and it goes under the River Thames in Edinburgh. Not Edinburgh, sorry, down in London. But it's actually in use. It's a footpath. That's a big long. Oh gosh, I can't remember what it's called. I went down that way for a holiday too. Yeah, it was the Greenwich foot tunnel that goes under the River Thames down in London. So I went there, I went through it. It's meant to be quite a. It's got a kind of anomalies to it. There's something online about it saying that if you walked through it, it would warp time or something. It was just, but I thought it was quite amazing that well, it was because it was a very long tunnel, but it is in use. It's a foot tunnel, but there was a story where workmen went through it and they came out the other end a lot sooner than they should have done. So it's like there's a bit of a time warp or something. This is, if you type it in, Greenwich foot tunnel. It's under the Thames in London. You get these stories about it. And that intrigued me anyway, but I was down that way anyway. So I thought, well, I might as well have a walk through it, see if it affects time. But yeah, I thought it was quite interesting. So there's probably loads of things we'll no doubt embark on at some point. So I'm going to put this torch back, it's getting dark. Might as well get used to the thing. Saying that, it's not that bad. But yeah, there's even talk about these tunnels that we just came through were haunted as well. Probably because of, well, maybe they are, I don't know. And I believe in the supernatural anyway, because I've experienced stuff that's, I'm not going to go into it in this video, but if you look back at my channel, I've mentioned things about the Mandela Effect. I'm not going to go on about that here just now, it's just, I don't have the time. But I'm a believer in the supernatural, as I refer it to, because it's beyond what we've been taught could be possible. And we're taught that it can't happen, but clearly I've experienced it. I know I've experienced it. So these things have always interested me. Spooky stuff and paranormal. That's only from the standpoint of the person that's paranormal too. If you know what's causing these things, it wouldn't be paranormal to you. It's only paranormal for the viewer that wouldn't know, or the one who experiences it. It doesn't know. This isn't any back to the car now. Turn this round. Yeah, so it was about a 5-minute walk from the viaduct. That was my breath there that you saw. It was really looking. But yeah, and into all this. There's all sorts of things in Edinburgh as well. I think there's ghost walks and there's even an open top tour bus that does a ghost tours around in Edinburgh, stuff like that. So this is where you could park and just park there. So that's B996. I'll just show you what it will look like so you've got an idea. Just what you want to look out for. So I can give you an idea. I might switch this head torch off because I don't want to be baffling the traffic and distracting them, so I'll get that off for now. These old railway sleepers, I'm mistaken, they were a wee bit further up there, but I might have to put the torch on so you can see this because you're not going to see a thing here. Right, and just So in part facing the opposite way, that's, if you go down that road, that takes you through, or sorry, it takes you under the viaduct. Right, this is the B996. That's in the direction of the Benin Hotel. And you'll come to the viaduct well before you get that. It's about a couple of miles you'll be down to the hotel. And the viaduct's about half a mile down there. Right, so in part, as you can see, responsibly, just where you can see my car. Right. Now, obviously you don't want to be blocking this gate here. You've got you've got this bridge that goes over the River Farg, right? So you'll be going over that. You just depending on what direction you're going in, obviously. Right, this is what you want to look out for. If you don't want to park at the hotel, this is where you could park. Now you obviously didn't park here, right? You didn't park there because you need to get in there. So you'll see all this. So these stones will be there for ages. When you get here, you're just heading along. 5-minute walk, you get to the viaduct, and you know the rest from there. Right, so I've tried to help you how to get to here should you want to go. Okay. Right, I'll try and show you in the map how to get to here as well. Unfortunately, I never thought of this, but the shadow's creating a problem. Damn it. I'll put it in the car, hang on. Right, that's better. I'm in the car now, so I'll show you where it is on the map as best as I can here. Right, basically it's there. That doesn't really tell you a lot, right? But that's where it is. That's the B996. Now, on this corner here, that's where that Benin Hotel is. It's the Benin Hotels, as I call it. So I came, the way I took, as a standpoint, or a point of reference, I started my journey from Dundee. So I followed the A90 all the way up, went over the Friarton Bridge, onto the M90. So you come off at junction 9. Once you come off at junction 9, you follow the A912, going in the direction of Gateside. You're basically going south along this A912, and then you'll come to the B996 on your right hand side if you're coming down this way. So you've got the hotel right in the corner there, and you're just going along in this direction, and it'll be the west direction. You're heading along this way, and you're just in part about there. It's not very good. I maybe should have got a pen or something to highlight that, but I'll use my pointer, it might help a wee bit. So in part there, and the viaduct is, well, I'll try to explain how to get to it from there, but that's where it is in the country anyway. This is the Greater map. You're looking further afield. That's Dundee. So if you're starting your journey from, put it this way, if you're on the M90, regardless which way you're travelling, right, you're just on the M90 motorway, you're going to be coming off. Well, actually, you could come off at junction 8. If you're coming up from the south, you would come off then on junction 8. Then you would go on the A91, follow up to the A912, turn left, and continue up till you get to the B996. As I say, that hotel was right on that corner there, and you would just head in this direction to get to, in part, just well there. That's not very good, but that's the best I'm going to get you, and that's it. I've not got anything else to. That's the best I could do to show you how to get to here at this moment. So I hope it helps. Okay, so obviously in Scotland, just come up the M90. If you're coming from the north, you come off at junction 9. On the A912, you head on south until you get to the B996, which will obviously be on your right hand side heading in this direction. Again, you'll see the hotel in the corner, the Benin Hotel, and you would just continue along this way a wee bit. Park about there where I am, in the bit here, and then as you would have saw earlier on the video, I showed you all the lay-by what it looks like and the direction it's going from there. I've even got dashcam footage as well, because I done my drive. I switched the dash camera on at Invergilly on the BP garage over here, and I recorded all this journey. I recorded all that journey to here on my dash cam. A90. And we've got the city of Perth, just not far from that for those that are want to travel to it if you're not familiar with this part of Scotland. Okay. Not the best at giving directions, I'm no expert at it, but I've done my best. I've given you, well that's it, I've tried to show you how we get to here, and I've videoed it, so I hope you've enjoyed it. That's just back in the car now, all ready to go. I've got all these big boots and I've got other things to do, so hope you've enjoyed that. Stay tuned, see what else I put up, and thanks for watching. See you next time.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, bye.